You are listening to your auntie's favorite DJ, DJ Tracy Tree.
What the pot? What the pot? What the pot? What the pot?
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to What the Pod. I go by the name of DJ Tracy Tree, your auntie's favorite DJ, and now your fairy pod mother. Welcome back to another episode where I got some great podcasts that we can listen to. Let's jump right into today's show. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about has nothing to do with podcasts at all, but that's okay because it's my show. So this came to me in a newsletter, as I usually open the episode with something that I read from the morning, if y'all are following the format of this whole thing. So it says the UK rethinks work. The new frontier for competition is quality of life. Can a 4-day work week improve performance? The UK is about to find out. So shouts out to everyone in the UK doing all of God's work, trying to get us 4-day work weeks just as a standard practice. I don't understand that why coming out of the pandemic, we are now trying to refocus and go back into the office. I understand that a lot of people work better that way. You know, they got to get away from their family, their pets, you know, anything that's happening in their environment. But the overall work experience should be optional. I 100% believe that. I get a lot of work done at my house. I love the fact that I can just flow and go wherever I need to. And then too, like, I can tap in with y'all in the middle of the day for a podcast. I can listen to podcasts. I got my studio set up exactly how I like it. So shouts out to the UK for getting us, better quality of life. Maybe I'll make some The Great Resignation merch. Love the fact that everybody quitting their job and want to live their life. So shouts out to the UK for that. Ain't got nothing to do with podcasts. I just want to talk about it. All right. The first podcast that I'm checking out today is called The Smart Passive Income Online Business and Blogging Podcast. That's a long ass name, but he did that probably because of SEO. He wanted to make sure that if you were looking for any of those kinds of things, you would find him. And I did find him. So if y'all know me by now, I'm completely obsessed with entrepreneurship, and I was side hustling before I even knew I was side hustling as a child. So I chose this episode because I'm currently digging deeper into YouTube and monetizing YouTube channels. I've got a couple of them that, actually 3 of them that I'm already working on. I've got them in development. I'm creating content for them, and they are 100% faceless. So what that means is I can produce, me as a producer sitting over here, I can produce content, put it on a YouTube channel, not even have my face on it, maybe do some voiceovers or stuff like that. And it's more of just kind of leisure entertainment. A lot of people are looking at YouTube in their offices. At home, they just got it playing in the background. So I want to make sure my podcast and all of my content can get to them that way. And that's what this podcast is basically about. Now, this is a 1 hour and 2 minute podcast, so by no means necessary am I telling you to go and listen to this whole thing, but I'm definitely going to check it out. And I'll probably give a brief synopsis on my TikTok, so follow me on TikTok, DJ Tracy Treece, DJ TRICEY TRICE. I'm going to spell that a couple times for some people who are having some trouble following and finding me on social media. So check out behind the scenes of my successful new YouTube channel venture, which I'm hoping is going to be my story as well. And again, the podcast is named the Smart Passive Income Online Business and Blogging Podcast for those of you who are listening and not watching me on YouTube. All right, the second podcast that I'm checking out today is a crash course on Black American history. Now, I was looking for a history podcast, and that's how I found this one. I just wanted to, sometimes you just like drunk history, edutainment kind of history. I just want to learn something while I'm being entertained. And I found this podcast. It is full of Black history things. He's got different seasons with different things in it. It's no longer in production, but that shouldn't stop you from going back and checking out all of these podcast episodes, right? Really, really good, rich content. It's quick too. 11 minutes and 52 seconds. I do want to know what Black people were going through during the Great Depression. I want to hear this person's point of view. we might be going through another Great Depression here again. You see 1929, it's about 100 years, so it might be happening. I just want to see what my people was doing, so you got to check this one out. Check out the Great Depression Crash Course on Black American History, number 28. And again, for those of you who don't know the format of my show, if you want to follow this list on Spotify, you can go ahead and click it, and I've got a long, exhaustive list of all the podcasts that I have featured on my show. The last and final podcast that I'll be checking out today on my walk here that I'm going to take Brody to the dog park with is Nosy Neighbors. I love this podcast, y'all. It's funny as hell. I mean, really, 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 really funny if you just like listening to like group chat kind of conversation. But the podcast is about neighbor experiences. So things that have happened in apartments. When we moved to an apartment, I thought it was going to be much crazier than it's actually turned out to be. I think podcasts and different things like this kind of give you that entertaining. Oh my God, what if my neighbor is crazy? We haven't had any neighbors. We moved. That honestly was the biggest part of us moving into an apartment for me, was like the people living around us, because I generally don't like to interact with the public at all, to be quite honest, unless I'm trying to interact with the public. Everybody knows me. I'm a DJ. I'm an extrovert. I'm out. I'm hanging. But when I want to be by myself, I legitimately don't want to even hear another person sneeze or cough. I'm so irritated by that. So these stories always get me. They are hilarious. So definitely check those out. And after I listen to these podcasts, I've been doing recaps on my TikTok. My TikTok is kind of going up. So if you on there, follow me, DJ Treacy Trees. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of What the Pod. This weekly format has really, really, really been working for me. I've been doing audiograms and Instagrams and all kind of things. So definitely, if you're listening to this, give me a shout out on social media. Let me know how I'm doing. If you've actually listened to any of the shows that I've suggested, let me know which ones were good for you, which ones weren't, so I can adjust the content to where we going, right? I want to hear from you just like you want to hear from me. Thank y'all so much and have a great Tuesday. It's beautiful here in LA. Get outside and move your body. I'll see you tomorrow.